Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Sea of Infinity. In this video, I just wanted to quickly discuss the 3 keys for manipulating your own reality. Now, obviously, with many things that I talk about and such, I'm not saying that this is true hard facts or anything like that. It's just from information that's come to me and my own observations and such like that. And I'm not saying I'm exactly an expert at putting all these things into practice yet either. As I've mentioned, I'm only, recently embarking on my own little awakening journey and all that such. But yeah, I thought it'd be an interesting topic to discuss. So yeah, the three keys for manipulating your reality. I guess, and in the way I mean of that is, going to the concept of ideas that I've talked about before about, reality kind of being more like a dream or like a simulation or a video game or, those sort of concepts. And so through that, and a lot of the idea of our reality kind of, being manifested from ourselves, from our energy, kind of like from our subconscious mind and things like that, all playing together and, kind of manifesting this reality that we see before us. And, in each moment is kind of, a continual new manifestation that is going on. So there's obviously other ideas for moving through your own reality and navigating through your own reality and such, through through intention and, the state of your energy centers and things like that. But with this aspect, I want to just kind of delve more into kind of the 3 keys for, I guess, recoding or reshaping your subconscious mind and things like that, which is kind of the underlying code that is generating so much of what we experience. Our subconscious mind and stuff like that has so much power over our lives in so many ways that we just don't pay a lot of attention to or put a lot of weight on. So the three keys from my own little ideas and stuff is the power of logic, belief, and imagination, and kind of merging those together to kind of, create and rewrite your own subconscious mind and reality experiences. So often of what we do experience, what we see and hear and the way we kind of interact with the reality around us and how that affects us and things like that is so based off those, the logic that we've kind of ingrained into ourselves or that we follow, our beliefs and belief systems and the way we believe and think about things. And then also our, the power of our imagination and how, flexible or creative we're able to be as well. So, kind of about, harnessing and magnifying and also flexing the power of your own mind. So with logic, we'll start with the first key, logic. So often logic, I feel, is kind of used almost like the safety net or the grounding line for your reality. When we do live, in a sea of infinity, and there could be so many possibilities and outcomes. I feel logic is almost at least the logic we have at the moment, is almost like the training wheels on the bike that we have, so that we don't fall off. Kind of if we didn't have logic, then so many things could just go a bit awry. You could just start falling through the floor or something because you don't have the logic of, you know, things like solid ground and gravity and all those sort of, you know, different scientific things and, you know, logic rules that we have that kind of keep things in a logical order for the way we currently do experience reality. But I guess, as I was like saying, at the moment, I feel like that the way that we've had logic set upon us at the moment, or for, like, you know, us general people, I guess you could say, who knows what everyone's out there doing, but that the, you know, general kind of logic of the muggle world that we've been, you know, experiencing, is so often more than not, I feel, like I said, kind of like the training wheels for us to kind of keep us grounded and in like a safe little playpen while, you know, we do learn and establish these new ways of experiencing reality so that we don't just completely catapult out of control. So I feel that, you know, the more that we evolve and expand through these sort of consciousness ideas and, you know, manipulating our own reality and such, that we can then start to kind of bend and flex the idea of logic in our own mind to a way that kind of benefits us more accurately. So yes, you know, still using the basis of logic for things, but also allowing it to be flexed or kind of creating new rules of logic or things like that, for yourself in your own mind, kind of, you know, rewriting the rules a little bit of your subconscious programming to enable more like miracle type circumstances to enter your reality. Whereas at the moment, I feel like so much of the logic we've ingrained in our subconscious mind is kind of like rules that we've set that blocks a lot of like miracle type events or experiences from coming into our reality, or like magical type, you know, experiences coming into our realities, because the rules of logic we have kind of push that out and say, no, that can't be manifested in our reality because the rule of logic says no. So, you know, kind of being able to flex and bend and rewrite those rules of logic a bit more, you know, like I said, a bit more flexibly within your own like mind and subconscious mind allows the ability for like miracles and magic and stuff like that to kind of be able to be harnessed in your reality and manifest in your reality a bit more, because then you've got a bit more flexible rules that allow that to happen rather than the real hard and fast typical rules of logic that will not allow that to happen because it kind of like doesn't compute, you know what I mean? It's like, well, that can't happen because that's not computing with our rules of logic. So we're in a sea of infinity and you could have infinite experiences coming to you, but our rules of logic filter so many of those experiences out that they can't come to us because our rules of logic are saying, nope, that's not coming to us, if that makes sense. Then the power of belief, you know, so often, you know, we all have our own unique beliefs and societal beliefs and, you know, what have you. And so often, you know, what you believe is really like a strong basis, almost like logic in a way, but in a different way. You know, the way I view logic is kind of more of a, you know, the scientific or, you know, more the rules side of thing. And belief is, you know, you can have religious beliefs, spiritual beliefs, beliefs about the way you should hold yourself or conduct yourself, beliefs about, you know, morals and things like that. I guess is, you know, that's the idea of beliefs and stuff I'm going more into. Also believing what is and isn't possible, you know, those sort of things. So also kind of being mindful and aware of what your beliefs are, you know, rewriting or recreating or, you know, kind of just expanding on your own belief system a little more can also help, you know, flex open and open new doors of opportunity and possibility for your reality to delve into. So often what we do believe is then what we experience. So often people say, seeing is believing, but very much the case is believing is what you see, like believing is seeing, sort of thing. Like, if you don't believe in something, it's so often that you won't then see it. Kind of like when they do those experiments and things too, how, with like human mind and such, you can have things going on around in your reality and you won't even pick up on it or notice it, and your brain just kind of filters it out for you because it may not think it's important to put in your reality, or it may not really compute with your belief system, so it kind of just, it doesn't even bother like bringing it to your attention or showing you, kind of things like that. It's kind of like we can sometimes like box ourselves in and kind of close ourselves off from things that are in our reality through our own belief system by kind of like not believing in it. Then we kind of block it out from our own mind, and then we don't even see it or experience it. And then that kind of reinforces our belief system, but not realizing that it's actually our belief system that is creating that experience for us. Especially when you do think of, the power of our own minds and ourselves, and how much we really do influence our own reality, and how much we actually are the creators of our own reality. Our beliefs is like really a really strong and powerful force of our own mind that really can impact the experiences you're even able to perceive and the experiences you're able to experience. And then the third key, imagination, which, I guess is then kind of similar to belief, but in a different way. I feel belief is very much still, things you do believe to be true and such like that. Whereas I'm taking more the power of imagination, almost from like, the power of creativity and things like that, where you can kind of, delve into and bend and flex the ideas of your logic and belief by using the power of your imagination and your creativity to really harness those up to new levels. Using your power of imagination and creativity to reform and recreate new belief systems or new rules of logic for yourself in line with what it is that you are wanting to experience. And allowing your imagination and creativity and such to kind of, run a little wild, or to really, expand and give you new ideas and insights and inspiration and such for what sort of potentials of reality you could even experience, or that you may want to experience, and almost, using those as like little thought experiments, or like, creative ideas and concepts that you can then integrate through the power of logic and belief into your reality. And then I guess if we really, want to take it up a level, just from, merely just, manipulating your reality with some type of experiences. But if, let's just say you got up to a really, really high level of being able to do that for yourself, that you were starting to be able to just manipulate your own reality in so many wondrous ways, then the power of imagination really can play into that to make it such a wondrous, fun experience, because then you really can just use that creativity and imagination to just like come up with so many unique and fun and different ideas and ways of experiencing things and implementing things, and tools for like assisting yourself and the like. And I feel like it is such a great period of time and history and stuff that we, have found ourselves in, to be able to kind of really expand on and delve into these experiences a bit more, now that our own kind of ideas of logic and stuff like that are expanding a lot more, like in the realm of science and such at the moment. Like science really is kind of catching up a lot in some ways, or really like kind of starting to merge a lot in some ways into the realm of like spirituality and magic and stuff like that. When you think of things like, you know, quantum physics and all that sort of stuff that they're now really delving into in the scientific world, it's really kind of like opening this whole can of worms. You know, how they're really kind of delving into the ideas of different, you know, dimensions and stuff like that, and string theory, and, you know, the ideas of, you know, consciousness and what consciousness is, and how they're really like delving more into that. It's really allowing ourselves to really expand and tap into those ideas of logic a lot more. And, you know, the ideas of logic itself now is really giving us new opportunities to really train our brain and enhance and open our mind in so many new ways, and gives us so many new possibilities to then bring in those tools of belief and imagination to then, you know, put in with these new powerful ideas of logic we have for ourselves to really like create and harness these new wonderful magical realities for ourselves. You know, because like so often I feel it would have been a lot harder, say 100 years ago or 500 years ago, to flex and, you know, the ideas of logic and stuff, when it really was a lot more, you know, the ideas of, you know, consciousness and different dimensions, and, you know, the underlying workings of reality with, you know, string theory and Schrodinger's box, and, you know, all those sort of wonderful concepts and stuff we're now delving into in the scientific world. You know, even just psychology and things like that, that we didn't have a lot of insight into, at least in the general public. You know, who knows what those secret societies have been up to all this time, and, you know, royal blood families and all that. Like, we won't delve into that, but, you know, for us general muggle public people, you know, our logic really was very limited in that aspect. To be able to try to retrain or flex the logic, you would probably just think yourself a little bit crazy. And it would be harder to believe and really ingrain and retrain the logic of your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind, or, you know, your own conscious mind, however it works, would be a bit like, are you sure? But now, you know, being in this new era of scientific discovery and such, in, you know, even through like space and all the amazing scientific discoveries we have now in this current era, really allows us to just like delve into that aspect of logic, and being able to really like integrate new ways of belief and imagination all together to really create these new and amazing and fun ways of manifesting and experiencing our own realities, and, you know, experiencing and viewing the world around us, and how we perceive, you know, ourselves and the world around us. So yeah, I really do feel like it is the time to be alive, to start harnessing these three keys of, you know, manipulating our own realities, which is really, really exciting. And I feel like as we go along, that whole idea of logic and stuff is really going to just expand and just catapult so much more, as I was saying, almost like the crossroads of like logic and, you know, magic and spirituality. Those sort of concepts are really kind of starting to merge together, which is really cool, and kind of starting to support each other, like back each other up with their findings, which is really, really cool and exciting. And I feel like it's going to be such an important part of like human history in that way, that then so many of us before that weren't able to delve in and tap into the magical side of, you know, spirituality, because our logical beliefs kind of blocked us off from it, and thinking that, you know, that can't be true, that can't work, that can't happen. But now our, you know, new scientific findings and stuff is really allowing us to open that box of logic a lot wider, and really start being able to bring in new ideas and beliefs and things that we might be able to, you know, start having a lot more wondrous and exciting things happening in our reality in the future. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, I thought I'd just share that one with you, and, you know, the three keys of how I feel are, you know, kind of playing on the reality that we do perceive, and what we do experience for ourselves, as I said and have said, you know, like, it's like we really are in like a sea of infinity but it's kind of like our own mind is kind of just filtering a snippet of that through for us to experience. So it's really about, expanding and, harnessing your own mind and, getting real kind of like creative with it in those ways, and, bringing in new concepts and ideas for your own mind to enable those greater experiences of infinite realities to filter through for you, which is cool and exciting. Who knows where it'll be able to take us and what amazing adventures of reality we'll be able to delve into, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I think, yeah, that's enough for now. I guess we can delve more into this later, but I thought just a quick little talk about that. Yeah, don't be afraid to really just expand your mind to, new ideas, new concepts, kind of, rewriting your mind and subconscious, beliefs and the way you kind of perceive logic of what is possible and what isn't possible, really kind of flexing that open a bit for yourself. And, allowing a bit of magic to sprinkle through and, really tapping into your own imagination and creativity in that way of the unlimited potentials and possibilities that you really can have and experience. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this little tidbit of information. Hope you have a wonderful day, and so excited for you and your journey. I hope lots of wonderful and amazing and exciting things you're going to be able to come across, learn, discover, and ultimately experience and navigate through in this sea of infinity. And magical world that we truly do live in. All right, sending you so much peace, love, light, and blessings as always.